were sitting in the windowsills, on the floor. It was everywhere. I remember lots of things about that service. Another preacher preached, but the most impressive thing to me was the song we sang at the beginning. You can remember it, can't you, that weekend. The organist, we didn't have any call to worship. We began with the hymn, and we sang "A Mighty Fortress Is Our God." And the boys in my confirmation class, happily I had some big ones, we took the processional cross, and that day we put the body of Christ on the cross. I brought that cross from ORU, and normally we just had IHS on the front. But that Sunday, we put the body of Christ on the cross. I bought it from a Catholic bookstore, so I had the corpus, put it on there. And that boy that carried the cross held it up as high as he could. And the two torchbearers, the same thing. And the cross led the way of the procession. And when we got to the end, and to the front of the church, the boy did like this in the face of the devil. It was the most incredible thing you've ever seen. The whole service was incredible, but that was a moment everybody will remember. And I'll never sing "A Mighty Fortress" without remembering it. That's a favorite of mine. We sing at our conversion, don't we? Some of you have special songs on the night you were saved, or the day you were saved. Charles Wesley wrote "And Can It Be?" to celebrate his own conversion. The better song, I reckon, would be one that would enrich the mind, lend itself to communal expression, and stir and inspire the heart. But I think the problem is much deeper. I think there's kind of a word illiteracy. Wren talks about this. That's my phrase, but Wren talks about it on page 142 in his book. I wonder if words are ever going to gain again in our society what they meant to our fathers and mothers, particularly not the last generation, but the one before that, the ones that wrote the great hymns. And I think we need to reclaim it. I think it's a terrible thing if we let the richness of the words of the hymnody, whether or not we rewrite them, set them into contemporary worship, but to just let them die. As though the old things, or even the old way of saying things, and we don't have to say them that way, but the richness of those words just be cast aside as something tired and burdensome and unretrievable. To me, that's a disaster. I've told you about the wineskins and what I think about that. And you remember the why? You've got to get ready to serve in three different expressions of Christian worship. You've got the paperback, remember that at the bottom of the Y? You've got the contemporary and you've got the traditional. And everybody here will probably serve in a church that will be all three of those in your ministry. And you need to learn to appreciate them. To know all the traditions and appreciate them. At ORU, I had a blended service. We always sang a hymn at the beginning of the chapel. Then we would sing praise choruses. Really, ORU invented the worship team. So I was there when it started. At Park Avenue United Methodist Church, an urban church, we started out with kind of low Baptist music. We ended up with gospel music, and the church boomed. In my hometown, the service was basically traditional. Anybody have any comments? I want to show you some bad hymns. Let's